Melmetal's origins are mostly unknown to us. We do know two important pieces of information, however. First is that Melmetal passed away around 3,000 years ago, a date that lines up with multiple catastrophes that happened in the Pokemon world. But there is something else. Take a look at the hillside mural we can find in the Galar region. It depicts a towering colossus fighting during the darkest day, a giant with one eye, a wire-like tail, and smaller beings that fall off of it. Seem familiar? If it doesn't, then take a look at Gigantamax Melmetal. One eye, a wire-like tail, and finally, its demise was said to have caused many small Meltan to spring off of it. Oh, and the lightning bolts? Those are the exact abilities described within Gigantamax Melmetal's Pokedex entry. But that mural on the hillside is only a small piece of evidence for its involvement, and it also leaves us with a way bigger question. Why would this mythical Pokemon fight to its last dying breath for humanity? To understand Melmetal's tragic end, we first have to understand its beginning. And to do that, we need to look at the real-world human history. Thousands of years before humanity invented the blast furnace, which is required to smelt iron ore, early civilizations still possessed highly prized iron weapons. Where did they get them from? From space, of course. The very first iron tools crafted by us, humanity, like the famous dagger found in King Tutankhamun's tomb, were forged entirely from meteoric iron, pieces of asteroids that crashed into the Earth. And, well, Pokemon's lore mirrors this perfectly. Professor Willow tells us that Melmetal was worshipped by a secluded community deep in a wooded land. These people developed ways to make unique tools out of the metal shed by this Pokemon. The very first iron tools in their history. And you know what's even more interesting? These iron tools actually had very special properties. And while this will heavily influence our theory on how Melmetal affected the darkest day, this isn't quite the point to talk about it yet. So for now, let's talk about how exactly this living metallic meteor arrived in the Pokemon world. If you take a look at the Legends of Calyrex, the ancient king of bountiful harvests, there is a specific tale of it saving the creatures of a forest from a devastating meteorite strike. It did this by teleporting both the forest and its inhabitants overnight. For a very long time, we might have assumed that this meteor brought Eternatus with it, but the math doesn't quite add up. Eternatus crashed into the Earth 20,000 years ago, likely creating the Dynamax-rich max layer, which is nowadays found in the Crown Tundra. After it crashed into the Earth, it slept for 17,000 years, which makes little sense because if you really think about it, why would Calyrex wait for 17,000 years, do nothing about this meteor, even though it could supposedly tell both the past and future almost perfectly? It just makes no sense for it to have ignored an alien dragon sleeping in its own kingdom. So what if the meteor Calyrex saved the forest from wasn't Eternatus at all? What's if it was Melmetal's? This also bridges the strange lore behind Melmetal's Dex entry. It crash lands in Galar as a meteor because it was attracted to this forest rich in magnetite-bearing rock. However, Calyrex saved this forest, causing it to make its way there after the fact, after it crashed. The surrounding forest, saved by Calyrex, became the very same secluded community deep inside a wooded land that Professor Willow mentioned. There, Melmetal then settles down and provides the locals with meteoric iron and becomes a sacred, worshipped being. But as stated before, Melmetal didn't just provide metal for simple farming tools, it had a special properties that helped save the Galar region. To understand what this meteoric iron was truly capable of, we need to look at the legendary heroes of Galar, Zacian and Zamazenta. When we first encounter these two, they are weakened, battered, and they're lacking their iconic armaments. It isn't until they are reunited with the Rusted Sword and the Rusted Shield that they unlock their true potential. But who forged these weapons for them? The answer has been staring us in the face. It's Melmetal. Think about the unique properties of Zacian and Zamazenta's signature moves, Behemoth Blade and Behemoth Bash. In the games, these attacks have a very specific mechanic. They deal double damage against Dynamax targets. Why would ancient weapons have a built-in countermeasure to a cosmic phenomenon like Dynamaxing? Well, it's because just like Eternatus, the iron used to forge these two weapons came from space. Melmetal's body is composed of liquid metal from a meteorite, and since Eternatus is an alien dragon radiating Dynamax energy, it makes perfect sense that weapons forged from the alien iron of another meteorite would possess the unique ability to pierce through that energy, no? This connection is also visually reinforced by how the items work. The rusted sword and shield literally melt into Zacian and Zamazenta when they're equipped. And what does that transformation do? It grants both of these doggos the steel typing, the exact typing needed to be completely immune to Eternatus' native poison attacks. It's also right there in the name. Melt, metal, Melmetal. We even see this exact concept in its Gigantamax form, where its signature move is literally called G-Max Meltdown. So anyway, Melmetal landed in Galar, was worshipped by its ancient people, and provided the meteoric iron to forge the weapons used to slay Eternatus. But one massive question remains: why did Melmetal mysteriously perish 3,000 years ago? The answer brings us right back to the climax of the Darkest Day, when Eternatus awoke, plunging Galar into chaos as Pokémon spontaneously Dynamaxed. Zacian and Zamazenta fought valiantly, but they didn't do it alone. They needed a front line. They needed a shield. Let's look at the type matchups. Eternatus is a poison/dragon type whose alien energy was draining the entire region. Melmetal is pure steel. It is fundamentally immune to Eternatus' poison. It was the perfect counter. Furthermore, look at Melmetal's signature G-Max move again. In the games, this move creates a wave of liquid metal that prevents opponents from using the same attack twice in a row. It is a move literally designed to lock down and suppress a relentless rampaging opponent. And as stated at the beginning of this video, we do have visual proof of this clash. Let's look back at that hillside geoglyph in Turffield once more. For many years, we had assumed that this mural possibly depicted G-Max toxicity. But look at the details again. The swirling storm at the top is undeniably Eternatus. And the giant below it, well, the single glowing eye, the wire-like tail, and the devastating bolts of electricity coming off of it perfectly match G-Max Melmetal's dex entries. So I don't think that is just some random Dynamax Pokemon on the hill. It is the mythical Hex Nut Pokémon, towering over the battlefield, holding the line against the oncoming apocalypse. Tragically though, the timeline of its demise lines up perfectly with its dex entries as well. The Darkest Day occurred exactly 3,000 years ago, and according to the Pokedex, 3,000 years ago is the exact moment Melmetal mysteriously passed away, its body rusting and breaking down into the many small Meltan, the very same small creatures we see scattering off the giant in the Turffield mural. And now in modern day time, it too is forgotten, just like Zacian and Zamazenta. It too only has a small remnant of the past to pay its respects. Melmetal has a geoglyph carved into a hillside, one that not even the modern day researchers such as Sonia truly know the meaning of.